Hello, welcome to Possibilities Cafe. This is episode 51, and I'm Karen Barner, your host. I have been dormant, kind of quiet for the past 2 or 3 weeks, doing a lot of thinking. I know a lot of people did a lot of thinking over the past year and a half, as have I, but this is kind of the culmination of everything I've been pondering and thinking, really testing all the theses of my life. I know that sounds deep and profound, but it really was. I came out of 2020 and a little bit of 2021, in my opinion, a totally different person. I am much more joyful. I am much more confident. I am much more in my power because I learned how I was giving my power away. I found, healed, and buried a lot of shadows. And to me, that's what it's all about. So this is the last episode of Possibilities Cafe, not the last episode of my podcast. I'm going back to my original podcast title, which was Blue Rose Podcast. I'm kind of going full circle, which is just fascinating. I'm kind of going back to where it started before I let everything and everybody get in my head. When you're starting a business, I don't care if you're 25, 35, 55, or 70. And I'm not just telling you this, but to provide context, I'm an influential CEO of an assisted living association. I know how to build a business. I built this, I helped found it and built it over the past 20 years. I get it. But when it came to building my own business, I didn't get it. I struggled with it. So I started looking for coaches, looking for somebody to help me, looking for somebody to take care of me, shadows that I had. And, this is what I learned over spending way too much money on coaching. I've learned a few things. They all have their own area of strength. So if you here's me say, I can take you from, 0 to 10 million, they're going to have one thing they're good at, and they monetize that one thing. It could be sales pages. If you don't have a 10-page sales page, you're not any good. If you don't have a video sales page, it's not any good. If you have a sales page, it isn't any good. Or you have to sell to the person's pain. I do not like that. To me, that's so wrong. I worked I sold weight loss for a couple of years, and I finally got a boss who was like, I want you to sell to their pain, make them feel really bad about themselves so they'll heal it. That is counterintuitive to me. So obviously I got fired because I just couldn't do it. I encouraged the people, said, you can do this. This is the time to lose weight. Let's heal it. That's not what they wanted. So you sell to how you sell. If you believe selling to the pain is the way to do it, then so be it. If you believe, like I believe, that if you paint a picture of what their life can look like, what their life, not even can, what their life will look like. I mean, if you would have told me 2 years ago, because I've been healing shadows for a long time, but if you would have told me 2 years ago in COVID, I would find the big overarching shadow that would change my life, I would have paid you millions. I would have thrown every credit card I could find on the table, because you would have told me, you would have painted the picture of how I feel today. So when you're doing your business, do you. Don't listen to anybody else. Do what you think. There is so much free information on YouTube and all that other stuff. Until you get to the point where you know exactly where you need help at. I have a program. It's a group coaching. It'll debut in a couple of weeks. And it's called, my system is called the Blue Rose System. And it is, called the Blue Rose, A Path to Enlightenment and New Beginnings. I have probably a 200-page workbook. I am not lying. 200 pages. Type 14, single spaced. It is intense. And so it's like, okay, I gotta narrow this down. I narrow it down. I was so proud of myself. I whittled it down to 80 pages. Yay me. And so I'm like, this is still a lot. So I showed it to my husband, and he's like, wow, I don't really know what you're teaching, which makes him perfect because he doesn't know. So and it's good, but man, this is a lot. Ooh, a lot. So I went and found a coach who is good at creating, who's good at taking a lot and taking it into a little and teaching you how to turn it into a group coaching program. That's what I needed, because I'm a big picture person. I needed somebody that saw the details, worth every penny. But if she says, okay, now I want to work on your sales page, no, thank you. It's not that I'm good at sales pages. I'm not. I can just figure that out. But I know, and you've got to always work to your strengths. I'm a big picture person. I see things 4 years down the road. I see things as they will be if you do all the right things. I see you as you could be if you take the right steps. Does that make sense? That's my superpower. When I look at people, I see their beauty. I see their inner strength. And I also see what's holding them back. So I was trying to put that in the 200-page workbook. So people would be like, nope, this is never going to work for me because I'm not going to have the time. And now it's molded into a nice 6-week program, group coaching that will have a blast. Live your life and do your business that fits you. Don't fit in everybody else. And when you need information, go on YouTube, go to Pinterest, wherever you want to go and get the information you're looking for until you find that one thing that's holding you back. It could be a shadow, then you call me. If it's, you just can't get your website right, then you call a web person. If you just can't get your copy right, then you call a copy person. Then you know what you want. But when you get in these all-inclusive programs, they're great if you're just starting out because it helps you think, what do you want to do? How do you put it together? But when it comes to the nitty-gritty of a business, just follow your heart. Find a coach that fits you. And if you get with a coach, and this is probably one of my big regrets, and I don't like having regrets, is I found a coach who I knew after the first workshop, she was not the coach for me. In fact, she probably should not have been coaching. And I don't even think she is anymore. But I should have asked for a refund and walked away. But because one of my shadows was, healed it since, was a people pleaser, I didn't want to hurt her feelings. So I sat there for, I think, 6 months, and it was the worst program in the history of mankind. Don't get yourself into that. Know what you need, and if you're not getting it instantly, get out. And let the person know when they're coaching you. I'm going to, do this, but if I decide in a week or two that this isn't the program for me, we're going to talk, and either you're going to figure it out or I'm going to get out. And that's part of finding who you are. That's part of standing in your power, taking your power back. Don't allow people to bowl over you. Don't allow people to play to your weakness. Live in your strengths. Don't, they always say hire to your weakness. That's so true. But live in your strengths. Where you're weak at, that doesn't mean you need to, okay, I'm weak at knitting. I need to go learn how to knit. I used to think that. I think, you know what? I'm not good at numbers. Now, I am not lying to you. I've taken 24 credits in college on everything: financial accounting, tax accounting, finance 1, finance 2, statistics 1, statistics 2, and another one. So 21 credits. I still suck at math. Still, I got C's because I took them in summer school when it was, fast, down and dirty, and teachers always had a little bit more sympathy on you in summer school. Financial accounting, economics, macro and micro, A's, easy A's, because I got that. I got the big picture of accounting. And the micro, it just made sense to me when I could see the big picture. I stay in my strengths. Do what you're good at. I am good at building community. In your business, if you're good at building community, build community. If you're introverted, then build an online business. And don't do group coaching if you're introverted. If you're kind of in between, then do a combination of both. But follow what suits you. I've had so many people say, no, Karen, just do online, just do online, just do online. I am the most extroverted introvert you'll ever meet, if that makes sense. I am so extroverted when I'm around people. I am a people person until I have hit my energy level, and I got to back away, and I got to refuel and go back out. And that's okay, because I know that when I'm at one of our conferences, it's 3-day conferences, I know that I cannot stay the front of attention or even on the side very long. I know at some point I've got to go hide, and my team knows that. My team knows if they look around and they don't see me, don't come looking, because it means I'm taking a break. I'm changing my state. I'm stepping into myself. And if you're interested in changing your state and making this kind of stuff, let me know. And I'd be happy to do a podcast on that, on how to change your state and how, the warning signs for me that I'm an overwhelm and I got to get away from people before I start, taking them out. Know who you are. That is the greatest gift you can give you. And if you're not sure, if you're like me and you've spent 63 years trying to figure out who the beep I am, let's talk. Because it's hidden in your shadows. We all have them. And once you find your shadow, you'll step onto a path of enlightenment. Like everything you'll just see all the doors start to open and you'll see your new beginning and it'll be spectacular. So thank you for listening. If you like what you hear, please give me a subscribe. If you're on YouTube, give me a subscribe. If you listened all the way to the end, I know they say to put this on in the beginning, but I never do. Anyway, give me a review if you like this. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I have a Facebook group that is called the Blue Rose Podcast. It was Women Over 50, What's Next, but nobody really got the title and it didn't sing to me. That's the other thing that come out of COVID. I am only doing what sings to me. If it doesn't make me happy, I'm not doing it anymore. It's just, if you're not in your joy, you're not going to do your best work. So I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, give me a review. If you have any comments, let me know. Check me out on my group, Blue Rose Podcast. I'm over on TikTok under Karen Barno. I play on Instagram stories. I don't play too much on Instagram because it just doesn't fit me. And I am on YouTube. Love YouTube under Karen Barno. Thanks a lot, you guys. Have a great day. And here's to you finding your Blue Rose.